Hello, my beautiful movie peeps. Thank you so much for clicking on an episode of Side Flick. My name is Chris. Let's talk about some movie news. Admittedly, guys, it's been a dry couple of days, but some of the things we are going to be talking about here today is we've got an update with the Fast and Furious franchise because Vin Diesel just confirmed something crazy about the finale. A lot of y'all have been asking me for weeks for an update on Scream 7, and I got one, but it's not a pretty one. As well as Beetle Juice 2 getting confirmed along with a lot of the cast members. That along with not much more, but it's still some more. In fact, I'm feeling so bad I'm not providing entertaining content for you every other day. How about this? Some of y'all might have seen that Burger King and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse are going to be releasing these pretty patty looking monstrosities. It is food, Spider-Man, and movie related. I'm thinking about making a vlog, going out to get them burgers, eating them here for you, and giving you a little review. Something random and fun. Maybe I'll even put on the Spider-Man suit to order it. So be on the lookout for that, but other than that, let's just dive into some of the movie news. And the first thing I wanted to dive into here today, guys, is it looks like we're finally going to be getting a sequel to Freaky Friday. The Hollywood Reporter has it here that Freaky Friday sequel in the works with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know how many of you grew up with the movie Freaky Friday, but I feel like if you're around my age, we have all seen the movie at least once or twice. It's one I've always enjoyed, but I never really thought, man, they need to make a sequel to that one. But look, hey, it's finally going to be happening. I'm glad they're bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. If I had to take any guesses, I'm just going to imagine that Lindsay Lohan's character is now a mother, maybe is having problems with her own daughter, and instead of a two-way Freaky Friday situation, maybe it's a three-way split. I don't know, something cliche like that. I also don't think this will be a movie that'll be going to theaters since this is Disney, and they're always looking for something to dump on their streaming service. I'm thinking this will probably end up being a Disney Plus original, which look, I don't mind that, but there are so many other movies in your catalog, Disney, I want you to touch, like the Halloween Town franchise. When am I going to get a Disney Plus movie on that? Sky High, give me a show or a movie about that. I feel like they're touching the wrong properties here, but that's just my opinion. I'm still excited to see this. What are you guys thinking about Freaky Friday finally getting a sequel? Moving on here, something that got a lot of people excited on the internet just recently is the confirmation of Beetle Juice 2. Now, right before we get into this story, I just want to be open and honest with you guys. I saw Beetlejuice like once as a kid, thought it was okay. I don't have the nostalgic attachment like a lot of people. I know there's so many people out there that really love that movie. Maybe I just need to watch it again because I just don't remember getting all that into it. So forgive me if I don't talk about it with such enthusiasm, but I know you're excited for it. And you know what? With the details here so far, it's got me really wanting to go back and watch that original now. So it was rumored for a while that Beetlejuice 2 was in the works, and heck, that Jenna Ortega was going to be part of it, and now it is official. Jenna Ortega is going to be part of Beetlejuice 2. It is going to start filming this summer. That's something kind of important to know for another story later today. And it said that Jenna Ortega's character will be playing the daughter of Winona Ryder, who is also set to return along with Michael Keaton playing Beetlejuice. Even more interestingly, recently they just confirmed that Willem Dafoe will be part of the movie as a ghost cop. And look, since I said I don't have much of attachment to this franchise, just giving you my honest opinion, I'm surprised they're making a Beetlejuice 2 right now, because I know there is fans out there, but I didn't know if there's a big enough fan base. Attach Jenna Ortega and Tim Burton in another project other than Wednesday, you might have another mega hit on your hands. I'm feeling Jenna Ortega might have played a very vital role to making this movie happen. And I think it's kind of smart for the studio to capitalize on that. With the talent they have here, this could be something special. But for you real Beetlejuice fans out there, are you happy with them making a sequel and the cast they currently have? Moving on to something else that kind of just blew my little marbles a second ago, Vin Diesel confirming something about the finale for Fast and Furious. So currently right now in Rome, they are having the premiere for Fast X, which is the 10th Fast and Furious movie that is going to be releasing next week. I watch it on Monday, and I'm really curious to see how I like this movie because I am a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. I'll be a defender for it for a long time, but even I gotta admit, Fast 9 was poo-pooey to me. It was the first Fast and Furious film where I was like, maybe I am sick of this franchise. I don't know if I want it to continue. And well, that's what we were kind of promised with the next two movies. Vin Diesel said Fast X will be the first part in a two-part finale that'll end the series, or so they say. Well, on the red carpet, Vin Diesel had this to say about the series.
Going into making this movie, the studio had asked if this could be a two-parter. And after the studio saw this part one, they said, could you make Fast X, the finale, a trilogy?
We're getting a third movie?
Trouble here.
Wait, did that just happen? Wait, where are you guys going?
That's kind of wild to me that that's the ambitious take they're doing. And again, me as a fan of this series, I'm like, really? What are you gonna do with this 3-part finale? Because, like, you already took the franchise to space, okay? Everybody's really scared you're about to do the CGI Paul Walker for a full movie, which I feel would just be kind of disrespectful. But again, that's up to Paul Walker's family if they decide to do that. There is, like, a wild rumor that Fast and Furious will start to introduce time travel into the series. I highly doubt it, but at this point, I mean, why not? Just go full crazy with it. Who knows? To me, the biggest thing I just wanted is for The Rock to come back in here. I really liked the character of Hobbs and the dynamic he had with Vin Diesel, even though they hate each other in real life, or maybe they're just okay with each other now. I can't keep up with the drama.
A few moments later.
Oh my god! No freaking way! The Fast and Furious franchise has got to be the craziest series in the world. Alright guys, I was moments away from posting today's side flick just talking about how they announced the finale for the Fast and Furious franchise will be 3 parts. Isn't that crazy in itself? We now have confirmation that Dwayne Johnson is gonna be coming back to the series. Again, if you've been living under a rock named Dwayne Johnson, you might not have heard all the behind the scenes drama and why it felt impossible that Dwayne Johnson would ever return. This feud goes back so many years. Apparently at one point, Vin Diesel and The Rock could not stand each other on set to where they were filming scenes separately and gave us awkward shots like this. It eventually got to the point where The Rock said, you know what, I'm too big for the Fast and Furious franchise now. I do not want to be part of these movies anymore. And with Vin Diesel now wanting to make the finale of the series, he thinks it's important to bring in all the characters that the fans love, and that includes Hobbs. But whenever Vin Diesel reached out to The Rock to be part of the final couple movies, The Rock said no thank you. It put Vin Diesel in such an awkward position, he had to put out an Instagram post begging The Rock to come back for the fans. The Rock did not like this one bit, calling that post manipulative, thinking it was in bad taste to mention his children, and even the death of Paul Walker in the post. But then something happened at the DC universe, or at least something didn't happen. Dwayne Johnson had big plans to be the new big bad of the DC world, with Henry Cavill setting up an ultimate fight. We know how that went. They both ended up getting fired. This left Dwayne Johnson kind of now open to do something to set up the next biggest fight we want. Dwayne Johnson versus John Cena. Yeah, you can't tell me now that The Rock is coming back to the Fast and Furious universe, they're not gonna set up those two big icons to somehow fight in the next couple of movies. That alone is gonna make Fast and Furious worth watching however they set up that fight. And you know what? This kind of makes me think a little bit better of Dwayne Johnson. Swallowed his pride, made him go, you know what? I might not like Vin Diesel, I might not like this, but fans do want to see me in this franchise, and it would be cool to have one big finale. Let me be part of it. This kind of makes me excited now for the next couple Fast and Furious movies. What do you guys think? Bringing us here now for an update on Scream 7. Ever since the release of Scream 6, every other week I get a question from you guys going, Scream 7 update, when's Scream 7 happen, and any updates? And finally we got one here now, but it's not really a great one. So just kind of bring you up to speed on where we're at for Scream 7. Scream 6 turned out to be a big success, financially, critically, so it seemed like a no-brainer that Paramount was going to greenlit a 7th film and put it into production as soon as possible. In fact, one of the reliable scoopers who gave us a lot of information on Scream 6 and 5 that turned out to be true was saying they had plans to start filming this movie as soon as fall of this year so that we can get the movie next year, sort of in the same way Scream 6 was made. But now it looks like that's not going to be the case, and Scream 7 is going to end up becoming a little delayed. A couple of reasons for that is, for one, the one I just talked about here with Jenna Ortega. She's obviously a very hot commodity right now, so she's filming Beetle Juice 2 this summer, and then in the fall of this year, she's going to start filming season 2 of Wednesday for Netflix. That basically takes up all of Jenna Ortega's time for the rest of this year. There was even some articles coming out that Jenna Ortega was too busy and not going to even be part of Scream 7. No way they do that. I'm not saying Jenna Ortega is as important to Scream as like Neve Campbell is, but you can't lie, some of the new success Scream has had is because of Jenna Ortega's newfound fame. That drew in a lot more eyeballs to Scream, which is all the better, keeps the franchise alive. Jenna Ortega's busy, they're gonna wait for her to not be busy to make this movie. But she's not the only busy one. Melissa Barrera and the directors Radio Silence, who directed the last 2 Scream movies, they're currently making a movie for Universal that is rumored to be about Dracula's Dracula's daughter. The plot of that movie is a group of kidnappers steal a little girl that turns out to be the daughter of Dracula, putting them in a really bad situation. Sounds like a fun movie. So they're going to be busy filming that this year. And then you have Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mindy, another pretty vital, important character that I've grown to love in the Scream franchise. She's kind of on hold right now because of the current writer's strike delaying Yellow Jackets, which is a show on TV that she's currently making that I am a fan of, actually. If you haven't watched Yellow Jackets, I recommend it to you. It's a pretty good show. But before the writer's strike, they were about to start doing things for season 3, and it said that in her contract, she has an obligation to do that first over Scream 7. So she's got to be finished doing that as well, and we don't know when she'll even start doing that until the writer's strike is over. And plus, I don't think we really want them to start rushing a Scream 7 with this writer's strike, because although they might have the script finished for 7, I think it's very important that they can continue to tweak it, mess around with it, perfect it, which brings us into why I'm saying Scream 7 is now delayed from its original plans, is now it looks like it'll start filming sometime next year, either early on or in the middle, and then we'll have the movie released 2025 at the earliest. I still think it's definitely going to happen, and this will just only create like a buildup and hype. Sometimes I do think it's bad when you release these movies too close to each other, because now there's a gap for people to catch up with the series, find it, see the movies, and now it'll be really exciting when Scream 7 happens. So that's the current situation with it. I want to know from you guys, you see that Scream 7 is going to be facing some delays because of all these other factors. Do you think there's a possibility it could take even longer, or that they just don't even make a Scream 7? Because although I think it's like 100% they're gonna make this movie, it has not been officially greenlit. It's still only just a rumor in our minds. They might be done with the series, but I highly doubt that. They want that money, and we want that sequel. But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.